Hi, I'm Deacon Anna with Lutheran Campus Ministry, and I serve at Minot State as your campus chaplain. This week at the Wellness Center, we are focusing on the spiritual wellness facet of the wholeness wheel, the wellness wheel that we have been sharing with you during this time of online learning because of a pandemic. As you know, life has been isolating, probably scary, perhaps, but also loud. We've been forced to look at our screens more, to be on social media all of the time. And so one of my ponderings as I look at spiritual wellness, which infuses mind, body, and spirit, it affects all aspects of our wellness. I wonder what taking some time for silence, what would that do for us to disconnect from social media, even for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 1 minute, and take some time to let our brain and our heart and our gut be a little bit quiet so we can feel our emotions. That being said, it's not lost on me that I am coming to you through a screen and bringing you a spiritual practice. But today I wanted to let you know that this little video that you're going to walk with me if you want to follow along, will have times of silence in it, which I think these days, with online learning and social media, television, my phone that I'm always glued to, sometimes that quiet is hard to find. So the practice I want to extend to you today is rooted in a very old practice called Lectio Divina, which is a divine listening of a holy text. I learned a lot about it through Catholic brothers and sisters of mine throughout my experience in life, but I am tweaking it a little bit through other avenues that I've learned. And so this idea of holy listening, this divine listening through a special text, it could be a poem, it could be a scripture, it could be anything that brings you maybe some peace. The focus right now is to center and hopefully bring some peace and relief to your heart and mind and body. But I call it dwelling in the Word. I've worked with a lot of people with this particular practice, and it just is a calm, slow reading of a text, and it comes in 3 different waves. And so together, I invite you to come with me on this little journey of dwelling in the Word. And I'd like you to imagine this moment of deep, holy listening to your own mind, your own body, and your own spirit through a sacred reading. I'm going to use Psalm 23. So that's a very well-known psalm. A lot of people think that it is a funeral psalm, but you will see, hopefully, you will hear and feel that this psalm is actually beautiful for all of life. The imagery that we have written throughout just these few verses is absolutely amazing. And I hope that you will take some time and quiet and center yourself and join me as I read. So how dwelling in the Word goes is a person reads the text. You can do this alone. I like to sit on the edge of my bed, my feet planted on the floor, kind of sitting up in a posture of open and reception. Some people put their hands out. A lot of times, if I'm not the reader, I close my eyes so I'm not distracted by anything. And I just really open up my ears to hear, and I use my heart and my gut to listen and participate in the Word. So we read through the Psalm 3 times. The first time, I'm going to read through slowly, and I invite you just to hear the words, and I invite you to notice what one word sticks out to you. Then there will be a little bit of time of quiet after I read the first time. And I invite you to think about that word, feel about that one word. The second reading through will be the same reading. And this time I will invite you to think about a phrase that sticks out to you during that reading. So hopefully the second time through, it might be the same, a phrase connected with that first word. It might be something completely different. I invite you to hear that phrase, and in the time of quiet afterwards, contemplate what that means for you. Feel what that means for you. And then the third time through reading, because we're not in a group together, normally we would share out how we encountered the text. But here, after the third time through, I want you to just sit with the whole text. And whatever came through to you the third time, wonder what that is telling you. And lift that up in thought, in prayer, in feeling, to the divine, to yourself, to whatever you think and feel. For you are good and you are loved. So I hope this practice will help you center and will give you some quiet stillness as you learn who you are and who your community is. So go ahead and get comfortable, and we'll take some time in this text. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. They make me lie down in green pastures and lead me beside still waters. They restore my soul and lead me in right paths for their name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long. What one word stuck out to you? Take a moment to think and feel about that. A reading from Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. They make me lie down in green pastures and lead me beside still waters. They restore my soul and lead me in right paths for their name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long. What phrase stuck out to you that reading? Take a moment to think and feel. A final reading from Psalm 23. I invite you to hear with your whole heart, your whole ears, your whole mind. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. They make me lie down in green pastures and lead me beside still waters. They restore my soul and lead me in right paths for their name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemy. You anoint my head with oil, and my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long. I invite you into a time of contemplation. What did you hear? What did you feel that time through? Listen to yourself and trust yourself. I invite you to come back to this space, to bring forth your heart and your mind, your feelings, your emotions. Thank you for taking time to read through Psalm 23 with me today. This practice is very simple, and you can use any text that brings you peace or joy, or even a text that brings you some confusion or something that you're wanting to learn more from. Spending time with some words that you read out loud and that you ponder the one word and then the phrase and then the meaning of the whole for you might root you in your own truth. You are a lovely being, and you are connected to a greater whole. And so taking time for yourself in silence to listen to words from ancient wisdom of all varieties is very important, especially during these days of uncertainty. My prayer is that you will benefit from this practice and that you'll give it a try. If you want to talk about it, of course, I'd be happy to. Again, I'm Deacon Anna, and you can find me on Facebook or through the Wellness Center webpage. Peace be with you, and I hope you have a good rest of your night.